Good day, everyone. Today, another video. I'm going to, upload, and I will be discussing today additional examples of if statement as being requested by several viewers. Okay, and I will be giving you two examples of if statement, and hopefully after my discussion, I'll be able to explain the technicalities of if statement, how if statement behaves, how is the conditions being tested. Okay, so I would like to share to you my screen. Okay, now I prepared two examples. Okay, number one is design a program that will ask for an age and a name. So the problem demands for two values, age and name, and then your program will evaluate whether the inputted age belongs to too old to die or too young to die. Okay, so from that particular age being inputted by the user, it check your program will then check if that age belongs to too old to die or too young to die. Sounds sounds okay. So here I would like to open my online compiler, right? And then do some programming, right? So as usual, we will start. I'm sorry. I will start with a preprocessor, right? We'll try to include a stdio that it's and then int main for our main function, right? And then the curly brackets. What was that? Our program will ask for two values, age and name, right? So age and name. Age is what? It must be an integer value, right? While name it's a string. Okay, so we'll try to create an array variable that will cater 30 characters. This is the most ideal value. We can even increase that into 50. Okay, and then okay, printf, because we'll be asking for the name first, right? So printf, what is that? Enter your name, right? And then followed by scanf. So no, not scanf, because we'll be asking for a string value, right? Our name here is an array variable, a character array variable, which can cater 30 characters. So scanf is not in position with this line, right? So we'll try to use gets. Okay, now remember, there are how many inputs and outputs statements in C programming language? We have three partnership, printf and scanf, gets and puts, right? Getchar and putchar. Okay, so in this particular problem, I did use gets to get for the string value, which I am going to store it to name, and then another printf. Since our program will ask for two values, so enter your age. Are you following? Huh? And then this time we'll be using scanf. So age is being declared as what? An integer variable, right? So we need to have a data placeholder or data type, which is also percentage. So refers to an integer value. Okay, and then this time we'll try to check if, right, if your age is what? In our program, There's no such specification as to what are the age belongs to call today. So we have all the rights to set our specs, right? So dapat when you tend to do programming, you have to focus on the problem. Okay, whatever the problem demands, then that's your target. That's your target. Okay, okay. Like I said, programming is what? It's an art. Now, since it is an art, so you have to do some magics on it as to the lines of instructions or as to the programming. But then as to the result of that, kinanglan your program targets the problem. Okay, so there's no such specification as to what age range. So we have the one we can set our own. Okay, so in my case, if your age is greater than 60 or 70, I think, then I could say na that age is too old to die. Okay. Now, by the way, I'm using puts here. I want to display whatever is the value of name. Where did I get this name value? This is a string value from here, gets. Okay. So I have puts. This is a partner of gets, and then printf again. Printf uh, you are too old to die, right? You can either, no, in this particular line, you can either extend your if statement or create another if. Okay, so I will try using if else here. Else, okay, else puts, okay, display whatever is the value of name string, and then printf you are too young to die. So meaning, if this condition is true, perform. But if this condition is false, meaning your age is not greater than 70, perform this one. Okay? Now since we have here an integer main function, okay, we need to return 0 or else your program will not run. Okay? So let's check. Our problem demands for two values, age and name. Okay? And then after a while, your program will display whether you're too old to die or too young to die. Okay? So going back to our program, we have age and we have name as our two input values. Age is an integer value and name is, it must be a string. So manang atong i-declare as car name, it's an array variable. And then here we are trying to ask for a name, and we did use gets because we need a string value, and that will be stored to name. Then the second printf and scanf is we are asking for an age, and that age is what? It must be a numeric integer value. Okay, and the next group of codes are actually condition. We are trying to check if age is greater than 70. If this is the case, display the value of name and then display a message, you are too old today, or else do this one. Okay, so this is our program, and that's how this program behaves. We'll try to run this program. We'll execute this program. Okay, I hope it will run. Yeah, it runs. Okay, so say for example, Junel D. Gili, right? Then press enter K. Our program is now asking for an age. I am 46, right? When I press enter K, what's next? So here, Jonel D. Hilig, you are too young to die, which is true because our program, the condition of program is if the age value is greater than 70, then it display niya is too old to die, or else if it's lower than 70, the result must be you are too young to die. So if I will die today, my program will display you are too young to die. We'll run again and we'll try to use another value. So it's here, huh? Age is what? Greater than 70. Okay. We'll execute again. Run. And same name. Let's say, for example, Pedro. Pedro uh, Gonzales. Now it happens to kuan nga si Pedro is 78 years old. Okay? When I press enter key, our program decided to display this one. Pedro Gonzales, you are too old to die. Going back to our problem. Design a program that will ask for an age and name. Is our name, and your program will evaluate whether the inputted age belongs to too old to die and too young to die. My question today is, does our program targets the problem? Because if not, then there's something wrong with our program, right? So that's it. Now, in here, instead of else, you can use if. No problem. Okay? Programming is what? Programming is an art. So, less than 70. So, meaning if your age is less than 70, then display you are too young to die. We'll run again. Huh? Instead of using if else, we are now using if. But we have two if statements here. So, same. This is the screen output now. Okay? I'd love to have my name in here, and then my age, I am 46. Let's check. You're too young to die. So it's still function. I mean, muna akong gingon sa inyo, programming is what? Programming is an art. You can manipulate, you can have your own lines of instructions here for as long as this or that particular program targets the problem, then that's correct. Okay? So I hope I made it clear. You know, when you try to analyze the problem, the first thing to do is try to analyze the input values needed. Okay? When you are to analyze, you have to look into what are the inputs needed. Okay? So in this particular example, we need to have an age and what? And name. Next, what are the processes? I mean, what are the formulas needed? What are the conditions? Okay? The condition is, I mean, wala. For as long as your program will determine whether that particular age is belongs to too old to die or too young to die. So what particular condition you'll check? If age is what? Greater than 70. If that is the case, display too old to die. Else, display too young to die. Then the next one is the next requirement is outputs. What are the things that needs to be displayed? Okay? So, in this particular problem, ang imong i-display is what? The name and the message too old to die or too young to die. That's it. And in these three, guidelines, more or less, you will be able to address the problem. Okay? Again, in analyzing the problem, try to look into the inputs needed. Then what are the processes, the formulas, the conditions, and then what are need to be displayed after such conditions or process. That's it. Okay? So now here, let's have another example. I only have two examples here because I don't want to sometimes when programming discussions is so long, tendency is you might get tired and information overflow. Programming is so technical, so you have to slice our discussion into smaller one for us to digest it properly. Okay, so the next problem is design a program to ask for and ATM outstanding balance. Okay, so here, ATM outstanding balance. And then the next one nga payo niya is your name. And then the withdrawal amount. Okay? So, how to analyze? Look into the inputs requirement. So, unsa may input requirements? Outstanding balance. Then, name. The next requirement is withdraw amount. Oh, there are three. There are three. Let's proceed. Then your program will display its decision whether you are allowed to withdraw or not. Okay? So, what is then the process needed? Okay? Your program will evaluate, will check whether your balance is what? Higher than your withdrawals. Okay? Withdrawals. Because if not, then you're not allowed to withdraw. Okay? Are you following? So, this is actually the process that we need. And how about the outputs? We need to display our current balance. Okay? We need to display the current balance. After withdrawing a certain amount, you have to know your outstanding balance. Or if you're not allowed to withdraw because your withdrawal amount is a little bit higher than the guidelines of the bank, then you're not allowed to withdraw and display again the current balance. Okay, so that's it. Our problem number 2 demands for 3 values: outstanding balance, name, and withdrawal amount. Then we'll try to check, process whether your balance is higher than your withdrawals. If that is the case, you're allowed to withdraw, and what is then your current balance after deductions. Okay, so more or less this is our problem. This is the step-by-step way of analyzing the problem. Okay, and we'll now trying to do some programming. Okay, I'm sharing with you my screen. Okay, please follow. Again and again, we need to have this kind of starting point preprocessor, and then in main, right? I'm sorry. In curly brackets. What is that? We need to have not integer. Money, it must be a float value. Okay? Real with decimal. Float outstanding balance, right? And we need to have a variable for current balance after deduction. And we have to have withdrawal amount. Okay? So we have 3 float values based on our analysis here. Outstanding balance, withdrawal amount, and of course the current balance. Okay, we need to display the current balance. Okay. The next, we are in need of what? The name. Okay, we'll try to maintain 30 as our official length of name, and then we'll start the next line. Enter your name. Okay, and then what is do we need to have to use scanf? Get card? No, because that input statements are designed to get character value only, and we're in need of string names. So we have to say use gets. Okay, gets name, and here the next one is we'll try to ask for what? Enter outstanding balance. Right? We'll try to have some letter P in there as the peso sign, and then scanf. Since our outstanding balance, this one formula, the variable that we use is a float variable, so we need to use float data placeholder also. Okay, then O balance. Okay, by the way, is this a valid identifier? Yes, a valid identifier must start with a character and followed by an underscore, numbers, or any characters. Okay, I did use underscore here because I want to emphasize the two words here, outstanding and balance. Okay, I just use O for outstanding to make my identifier not so lengthy. Okay, so scanf, and then printf. Our program will ask for what? Let's go back to the problem. Our program will ask for the withdrawal amount. We're done with outstanding balance. We're done with the name, and now for the withdrawal. Okay. So enter withdrawal withdrawal amount. Okay, and peso sign there. Next is scanf. Again and again, our withdrawal variable is what? No, sorry. It's a float variable, so we have to use %f also. Okay, and then are we done with the inputs? Yes, we're done. We have names, we have outstanding balance, and we have withdrawals. This time we'll try to check by using if statement. If what? Your no, we have to compute first, just to get the current balance, right? So how to get your current balance? Your outstanding balance minus your withdrawals. Okay, your outstanding balance minus your withdrawals. And here, if your current balance is greater than 500, our bank now is depende sa banko, but then based on my experience, some banks are trying to limit your maintaining balance to 500. Some are trying to set it up to 2,000. So lower than that, you're not allowed to withdraw. Okay, so your ATM card must have a maintaining balance. Okay, so I am assuming, say for example, the bank that we are trying to pattern here tends to maintain at 500. So after getting the value of your current balance, okay, we'll try to check if your current balance is higher or greater than 500. If this condition is true, then you are allowed to withdraw, right? So we'll display the name, right? And then printf, are you following? Printf, you are allowed to withdraw. Kunya, how much, right? So withdraw the percent sign if, right? And then your current balance is, then %f again. Of course, you need to have P here for the peso sign. Let's try to check if this will run. Else, display the name, then printf. Please follow, you are not allowed to withdraw. That's it. And okay, so I think we're done. Return 0. Let's check. We have here the three variables. All are being declared as float. And then we have a string, like an array variable name, which is capable of holding 30 characters. Okay. And now we are asking for a string value, which will eventually be stored at name by using gets. And then we have here another group of scanf statement. Okay. The first one is to get for your outstanding balance. Then the second one is to get for the withdrawals, right? And here we did some, computation as to how much is the current balance by way of subtracting your withdrawals to our outstanding balance. And whatever is the result of this computation, check na to whether our current balance is higher than 500 because we're assuming 500 is the maintaining balance of our ATM card. If this condition is true, perform this one, that we are allowed to withdraw. If your balance is lower than 500, then we're not allowed to withdraw. Okay, that is how our program behaves. Okay, we'll try to execute this program if this program is okay. I will try to click run. I hope it will run. There's an error. Okay, enter your name, printf. I'm sorry, I forgot to have what double quote. Okay, so it must have a double quote here. Sorry. Okay, and we'll try to execute again. See, we have to follow rules, right? There's syntax. Now it runs. So, say for example, Junel D. Hilig. Okay. When I press enter key, that Junel D. Hilig will be stored to name. Okay. Then followed by enter your outstanding balance. Say for example, my outstanding balance is $500,000. By the way, do not put comma or period. Okay. Because for now, we don't have yet a formats for this, but as we go on with our discussion, we can set formats. Okay, we'll just try to lang for now. No comma, no period first. Then enter outstanding balance, and then enter your withdrawal amount. Say for example, I will be withdrawing 78,000. Okay, when I press enter K, our program will then evaluate and check. Jonel Dihilig, you're allowed to withdraw 00 and your current balance is 00. There's something wrong with our program. There's something wrong with our program. Okay? Are you following? We're not dili ni mao. Though we tend to follow the syntax, but then there's something wrong. Sorry. We need to have what? The value for this one. Okay? So we need to withdraw, and then we need to have the current balance. Okay, the formula for the variable for current balance, because we need two values here. So we have to have two variables also. The first one is for here, and then here, and then the second one is here. Okay, so run again and try to execute. There's a problem again. What is this? I'm sorry. No, it's undeclared and reported to appear in withdraw. It's not being recognized. We are using withdrawal. So withdrawal. So we'll add one. I'm sorry. Okay, so see, C is very particular with this. Enter your name, Janelle D. Hilig, right? And then enter outstanding balance. Say for example, the same one. I have $500,000, hopefully. Yeah. And then assuming I will be withdrawing 78,000. Okay. Let's check if our program approved our withdrawals. It's here. Janelle D. Hilig, you are allowed to withdraw 78,000 and your current balance is 422,000. The problem is we have so many decimals here, okay, and here. So we can address this by extending this one. We'll try to we'll just add that to if %that to if, and here also %that to if. What does that mean? We're trying to limit our decimal up to 2 only. Okay, so run again. Sorry, Junel D. Gilig, outstanding balance $500,000 hopefully. And then Assuming I'll be withdrawing 70,000. When I press enter K, let's check. See? So we are now having what? Two decimal places. Someday I'll be discussing the formats of that one. We can add comma there. Okay, no problem. Okay. But for now, I'm just trying to focus on the if conditions. If conditions, if conditions. Okay. Another examples of value. Okay. Say for example, what is that? Pedro Gonzalez, and Pedro Gonzalez had 67,000 only, and he's trying to withdraw 78,000. So we'll check. Pedro Gonzalez, you're not allowed to withdraw. Why? Because his outstanding balance is a little bit lower than his planned withdrawal amount. That's all for now. Let's go back to our problem. Let's check if our program targets the problem. Design a program to ask for an outstanding balance, then your name, withdrawal amount. Correct? Correct. And then our program will display a decision whether you are allowed to withdraw or not allowed to withdraw. Correct? Yeah, correct. So meaning our program is no problem. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something today, and my dream is for you to be good in programming few years from now or few months from now. God bless you. God is good, and enjoy life to the fullest.